Hi, I'm Michelle and welcome to my garden. So we've been setting up this property over the past, I think about 8 or 9 years now as a permaculture property. We've got about a third of an acre of flat land in an area with clay and a high water table. We're actually located around the flats of a local creek here in Black Hills Park in Lake Macquarie. So we've done a design initially and planned out lots of different zones following the permaculture principles to put together this garden, and it's been a lot of work, but we're really reaping the rewards now. So I'd like to show you, just to start with, a few of the plants here in my front garden, which is our little cottage native style garden, just to show you a few of my favourites. So out here we have a collection of natives, which we love because they attract native insects. They're beautiful. Some of them are adapted to our local soils, some are from other parts of Australia, but a lot of these are quite hardy. And we've also got lots of herbs and strawberries, even some fruit trees out here. So there's a whole mixture and it all works really well together. But here's a couple of my favourites. So we've got a beautiful Hardenbergia here, which is sort of a scrambling vine, which comes out with lovely purple flowers at the right time of year. And we've got this, what is it called?
Brainia?
Brainia. I've forgotten the name. And I think this is the star of my front garden. It's a beautiful purple Brainia, and it's only been in for about a year and it's really just taken off. So it's a small sort of tree and it's coming out with some beautiful little red berries on here, and it's doing very nicely. And then this one, unfortunately I've forgotten the name of, but it's another native and it's quite compact and it always looks neat and tidy. I've never pruned it. It has been here for about 6 years, so it's very slow growing, but it's still growing. And it's just a beautiful little plant that you just want to pat like a pet. This is our Birch garden. So right out the front of our house we've got a lovely wide Birch here, about 6 metres. And why not make the most of it and share it with the neighbours? It's a great way to meet people walking down the street who live around here. So we've got a beautiful sweet potato, it's going feral. And then we've got a range of vegetables. So we've got the silver beet, we've got parsley, we've got basil. We've usually put a crop of garlic out here, which is due to be planted about now in March or April. We're in April now. And we've also got a pear tree and our almond tree. So in permaculture, the idea is that we have zones. It's all about efficiency. And zone 1 is usually where you grow your vegetables, so it'll be closest to your house and easy access to run in and out of the kitchen for what you're cooking. So this is our zone 1. Welcome to our vegetable garden. It's a Mandala, and I'm just going to show you around. So this is our Mandala vegetable garden, and Mandala means circle. So we've got in this space 8 pie-shaped beds, and in the centre of each is a path. So some of these paths run right through to a gate and others end in what we call a keyhole. So basically a full stop at the end, and then you've got to walk back out the same way you've come in. And the reason we've done this is because we wanted to maximise our growing space and minimise the pathways needed to access this space while still providing easy access. So let's have a look. Right in the centre here we've got a house. It's a chook house, and it's a very special chicken house because it's on an old Hills hoist clothesline. Now these things never die, and this thing's pretty heavy, and we've got some wires here just to make sure we can stabilise it in high winds. But we've basically sunk the Hills hoist here right into the ground by about 1 metre, and you can see the handle's right down just above the ground level there. We've sawn off the ends here. And we've built this chicken house, and yep, it's got 8 sides to it, and we can rotate it. So what happens is our chooks get one of these 8 beds. Every 2 to 4 weeks we move them, and they're doing the work for us. Permaculture is all about efficiency. So they come in, they weed it, they eat all the weeds, they produce eggs from that, and then they do some lovely droppings, which leaves us some fertiliser. So basically, once we move those chooks off that bed, we're ready to plant our vegetables, and all we've got to do is lay down some mulch. So let's move this thing. It's a bit like a TARDIS. It makes some noises, but there we go. We've moved that round. So let's see if we can find some eggs in here. Here's our little secret hatch. And here's a hen. Oh, somebody's not happy. Sorry. Oh, we've got eggs. Okay. We're just going to seal a little egg. There we go. This is one of our 8 beds in the vegetable garden, and I'm just going to show you how we plant out each of our beds. Now, the idea behind this bed is that it will produce all our vegetables for a 2 to 4 week period. So if it's summer and things are growing quickly, this should give us enough food for about 2 weeks. If it's winter where things are growing a little bit more slowly, it'll probably take about 4 weeks for us to get round to this bed again on our 8 bed rotation. So let's just have a look at what we've got in here. So we've got some lettuce along our edge, nice and easy to pick. We've got a few volunteers here, a little bit of nasturtium. We've got some beetroot on this side. We've got some lovely capsicums, the last of the summer crops in here. At the back, we've got some lovely eggplants, just 3 eggplants. And we've very specifically calculated how many plants we need for what sort of yields our family likes to eat. Now we've got a family of 5. We've got some potatoes sitting in the back here. We've got some lovely brassicas, we've got cabbage and broccolis. And well, we've got a little bit of peppermint that's just sort of hovering around the edge as well. So, and we can basically pack this bed out, plant really closely. Oh, I've forgotten, we've got some spring onions as well. And the idea is to maximise the space. So this will be packed once all these plants are mature, so there won't be much space, you won't really be able to see much of the mulch. And we'll harvest this after about 3 to 4 months depending on the season. And some of them of course will be harvesting much sooner, like the lettuce. It's a little bit of a jungle around the edge of our vegetable garden, but there's a good reason for that right here. And this is sugarcane. Now it can grow up to about 4 or 5 metres. I think these things can go even higher. And we're about ready to chop this back. Now the beauty of sugarcane is, a lot of us know that if you go to your local hardware or nursery, is you'll find bales of this for mulch. So basically what we do is we chop it down. Now we can borrow a special sugarcane press from our local permaculture group and turn this stuff into juice, or you can even just chew it for a nice sugary treat. And then the rest of it we hack off and we cut up, and it gets laid down on our bed and forms a fantastic mulch, which literally has had to travel a metre. This is zone 3, which is our orchard zone. So this is beyond the vegetable garden. And this is where we have lots of fruiting trees and all our poultry running underneath. That's funny, isn't it? And they keep all the weeds down and help to prevent fruit fly from developing in our soil. So let's have a look. Oh, wriggler. So we've got our lovely mulberry tree. We've got an apple, I think this one is. And let's come around here. What have we got? This is our nectarine. We've got some lemongrass doing very nicely, an apricot, and somebody who's trying to catch me. Wow. And underneath we've got some turmeric and pumpkin that's self-seeded. And let's have a look over here. Asparagus. Lovely asparagus. And around the edge of our vegetable garden we have some espalier trees. Now these need a little bit of a prune at the moment, but we're just waiting for the leaves to drop off for winter. So this is a peach, and we've got some more plum trees around here. So I think we've got a plum here. No, that's an apple, sorry, apple and a plum. This is zone 3, which is further out back from the house. So you might have noticed now that we have a very long, skinny block. So basically we've just put it into sections, and as each section gets further away from the house, we put something different there that we use less often, so we don't have to walk here as often to harvest our produce. Now this is our food forest, and basically a permaculture food forest is a system that uses perennials. So perennials are any plant that lives more than a year, so we don't have to plant it regularly, it keeps producing, and they're usually more self-sufficient provided with the right conditions. So let's have a look around the food forest. So in the food forest we've chosen different plants that work for our sort of warm temperate climate and that don't need too much attention. So we've got a lot of citrus out here. And what we've done is planted them in guilds. So we've found other plants that sort of complement their needs. So if these sort of have spreading roots, we'll have some other things that might have some tap roots or that aren't as high, that can grow as a ground cover. So for instance, we've got some pepinos, which are lovely little ground cover growing underneath this one. We've got the lovely arrowroot. And here we've divided these beds into ditches. So we've got ditches between the beds, which allows the water to collect in here when we get heavy rains. So we get a lot of water flow down this hill that all seems to want to stop here, which is pretty good for us. And we've got a lot of salvias in here, which have gone a little bit weedy to bring in the bees, and we've got some useful herbs as well. Here we've got our yacon, which is a lovely tuberous root. It's like a sweet apple and you can eat it raw, it's fantastic. And down the back here we've got some raspberry. So this is our native raspberry. I think this is actually a Queensland variety, but we have native raspberries growing in the mountains just behind us here. And it's a really wonderful plant because they're really sweet and big juicy raspberries. And usually they fruit in August, but funnily enough, it's a bit of a warm autumn and we're starting to get some flowers on, so maybe we'll get an extra crop this year. Well, the work is never done, so this is our zone 4 and it's still in the making, but we're just clearing and chipping and doing lots of work out here, and this is going to be our native bush food forest. So it's going to have lots of native foods from our local indigenous species. Here it is, we've got a few plants in to start with and there's more going in.
Is that silly?